One Zambia, one nation. Welcome to the news. Our top stories. President Hakainde Hichilema is in the UK for the coronation of King Charles III. 72,000 kwacha required for the rehabilitation of MV Kapale water bus. Government to invest in training and recruitment of health personnel. And Mukushi Road traffic accident victims put to rest. The news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema is in the United Kingdom ahead of tomorrow's coronation of King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla. President Hichilema, who is accompanied by First Lady Mutinta, arrived in London this morning. He was received by Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Stanley Kakubo, Permanent Secretary for International Relations and Cooperation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Isabel Lemba, Acting High Commissioner Lubu Chiwe Nzomalo, and other senior officials from the Zambian Embassy. President Hichilema will be among world leaders, foreign royals, international dignitaries, and charity workers invited to attend the coronation ceremony of King Charles III. Buckingham Palace confirmed that 203 countries will be represented by approximately 100 heads of state and other dignitaries at the coronation ceremony. King Charles III, formerly known as Prince of Wales, became king after the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, on 8 September 2022.
President Hakainde Hichilema has arrived in the United Kingdom ahead of the historical coronation of Their Majesty King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla. President Hichilema, who is accompanied by the First Lady Mutinta, were received on arrival by Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Stanley Kakubo, Permanent Secretary for International Relations and Cooperation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Isabel Lemba, and senior officials from the Zambian Embassy in the United Kingdom. President Hichilema will be among world leaders, foreign royals, international dignitaries, and charity workers invited to attend the coronation ceremony of King Charles III tomorrow, Saturday, 6th May 2023. The historical event will be broadcasted live on BBC One and BBC Two, and a spot check by Zanis at the Westminster Abbey, where the service for the coronation will take place, has been sealed off amid tight security. The coronation serves as a religious ceremony where Charles' new status as king will be formalized. King Charles III, formerly known as the Prince of Wales, became king following the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, who died on 8 September 2022. Meanwhile, while in London, President Hichilema is expected to hold high-level bilateral meetings with other world leaders, providing valuable avenues for increased cooperation with international partners. Reporting for Zanis, in London, United Kingdom, I'm Lakson Makoza.
From the United Kingdom, we are back home to Western Province, where Vice President Mtalena Lumango has called on the people of Luampa District in Western Province to support government's developmental agenda by utilizing the available resources, such as the Constituency Development Fund, to ensure that priority is given to major developmental projects. Here are the details.
Luampa District, being a newly created district in Western Province with a population of more than 61,023 people, requires infrastructure development such as roads, schools, and hospitals. Republican Vice President, when addressing the public after inspecting Luampa Mission Hospital mortuary constructed under the Constituency Development Fund, explained that government's desire is to ensure that enough resources are channeled to rural parts of the country.
Give them money so that they can see their own priorities and say, we will start with this and go to this, because they are the ones who live there. That's the purpose of CDF. We have just come from looking at the mortuary. I think if the planning was from Lusaka, we are going to prioritize the mortuary in Rwanda. But Hakainde realized that they know their own needs. We will give them, instead of 1.6 million, we will give them today, 2023, 28.3 million.
Luampa District Director of Works explains the scope of work under construction at the hospital.
We requested a top up of about 93,000 kwacha. So from the 2022 CDF, this project was already about 793. The 3 units have been procured, but the other 2 are yet to come, not until the motivation rates are done.
Meanwhile, the Republican Vice President says that the road connectivity challenge being experienced in the country will be addressed soon.
I am therefore encouraging you that the issue of roads and other infrastructure will surely be done.
Residents of Luampa have expressed their gratitude concerning the development in their area.
Wakungi mashenyo hakuna kwanda kuweza booking mota kuya kwa Kaoma. Chwale pa yutumeza hulu.
Chaba munine funda bafa mayande mo baleikala uli mimlangu kushika no board viewing nabola. Bali mochari twatotera lesa pale kuli ba president besu lesa pale runde poinshiku na free education. Aho mlebo mbata pa shiripa kuleka.
Republican Vice President Mutalo Narumango has wrapped up a 4 days official working visit to Western Province, where she visited in Keyema, Kaoma, Sisheke and Luampa districts in the quest of inspecting developmental projects in the named districts. Mulima Stumbeko reporting for Zanis News in Luampa district of Western Province.
In Luapula Province, Minister of Transport and Logistics Frank Tayali has assured the Mwelu Water Transport that government will source for 72,000 kwacha to work on MV Kapale water bus, which has been down since December last year. More in the following report.
Transport and Logistics Frank Tayali has visited Chelenge district to check on infrastructure and water vessels under Mweru Water Transport. Here, the minister is not happy that the 120-seater water bus has not been operational since December last year and lack of landing jetties.
Let me state that we have to find 72,000 kwacha is not a lot of money for a ministry. Whether it was not on the maritime budget, there must be an alternative to get this boat up and running in order for us to service our people. Let them have an alternative, a safe alternative. That is my assurance. I guess perhaps, like you have stated, we need to get this thing done within a month. Okay? Now that's me putting my neck on the chopping board within a month. That's a guarantee I'm giving you. Okay? Are we together? Yes.
The minister also held a meeting with members of staff at Mweru Water Transport, where he assured them that government will pay all outstanding arrears.
Makamaka hii process twala ingila mo twefa shirengo ngore shiriko twali pida kwa mwamba kwa tuna ni munichi pia tomfolo so amaria zero mkwete mkwai ndefu apana na ishtika nokutira mkwai ninomba line twala pusha masala darias.
For Zanis, I'm Yvonne Nombo in Chelenge District, Luapula Province.
And in the education sector, Minister of Education Douglas Siagalima has announced names for the new board members for the Higher Education Authority. Mr. Siagalima explained that the selection of the new board is in accordance with the provisions of the Higher Education Amendment Act of 2021 after approval by Cabinet. He challenged the board members to work towards actualizing quality higher education in the country. He noted that the selection of the board will help foster the smooth running of the institutions which operated without a board from 2017. The new board will be chaired by Professor Levi Siaminwe, and the members are Cleophas Takaiza, Chipego Zulu, Mazila Mwinga, Teza Nakazwe. Others include Vivian Lovu, William Nyondo, Faith Wamundila, and George Hamusunge.
It is my delight to carry out this important task of inaugurating this board. It is worth noting that the Higher Education Authority has operated without a board since August 2017. This is an important aspect that the New Dawn government has rectified in order to foster governance in the running of the authority. This truly is a momentous occasion for the higher education subsector and the nation as a whole. From the outset, allow me to express my profound appreciation to the permanent secretaries in my ministry and the Director General of the Higher Education Authority for facilitating this inauguration ceremony. Further, allow me to congratulate all the members of the board of the authority for accepting the call to national duty by accepting to sit on the board of the Higher Education Authority. The selection of members to this board was in accordance with the provisions of the Higher Education Amendment Act 21, Section 7, which provides for the constitution of the part-time members of the board.
The Barose Royal Establishment, BRE, in Lukulu District has given out more than 10 hectares of land for the construction of 2 secondary schools in Mbanga and Kandala areas. Lukulu District Commissioner Kelly Kapaku has confirmed the development to Zanis. More in the following report.
By 2023, Zambia should provide inclusive and equitable education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all, as is stated in the Sustainable Development Goals number 4, to provide quality education. This is why government, in partnership with World Bank, is going to construct 2 secondary schools in Mbanga and Kandala areas in Lukulu District of Western Province.
So at Kandala School again, we were given again about 7 hectares. So we are very happy for that guess which the donors have shown. And again, we so appreciate to the government to allow those funds which will come straight from World Bank.
Lukulu District Education Standards Officer Nganga Kayama also confirmed that the works are expected to commence this year.
We have come for a site visit of a 5-hectare plot that has been given by the community for the construction of a day secondary school. This project is funded by the World Bank and is projected to commence in 2023. After the verification visit, we will now go and collect documentation from the BRE, because this is a community project. We're working hand in hand with the local community.
And the BRE says it will supplement and work with the government in ensuring that development trickles down to even remotest areas in the district, as there is enough land for developmental purposes. Rita Kabindama, Zanis, Lukulu District, Western Province.
In Northwestern Province, Solwezi Municipal Council has handed over a 1x2 classroom block at Muzabula Primary School and an ablution block at Mwashitala Clinic, constructed using locally generated funds. Hamet Hajilonde reports that the 2 structures cost over 400,000 kwacha. More in this report.
In a bid to help decongest the 3 classrooms at Mzavula Primary School, Solwezi Municipal Council has built a new classroom block which is expected to create additional space for the more than 600 learners at this school. Solwezi Mayor Remy Kalepa wants the community to take ownership of the classroom for the benefit of the learners.
I am confident that the community will benefit intensively because of this development. At the same time, I am expectant that community members will take ownership of these projects, which will see our areas transformed for the better.
The school management and the parents are happy that pupils will now have a conducive learning environment.
Already up to about 600 pupils. No class is less than 100. So meaning that we have to split them in order to have a number that is accommodated.
The local authority has also built and handed over an abolition block at Mushtala Clinic as part of the efforts to improve sanitation at the health facility.
Is a project that had been undertaken using the local generated fund, Ward Development Fund. This project costs about 360,000 kwacha.
The facility sees over 100 patients per day. Now you can imagine all this time the facility was using only about 2 toilets. Those toilets were saving both the members of staff as well as the community, both male and female, which was very unhygienic, especially for a health facility.
Reporting for Zanis, I am Hamid Hachlonde in Solezi District.
In Southern Province, Provincial Minister Cornelius Mwetwa has reaffirmed government's continued investment in training and recruitment of health personnel for enhanced provision of quality health care services. Mr. Mwetwa has also commended the church for partnering with government in training health professionals who make an important part of the country's health system. He was speaking when he graced the 12th graduation ceremony for Jikankata College of Biomedical Sciences under the auspices of the Salvation Army Church. Chimunya Nalumpa now reports.
They stepped into the graduation arena with joy, celebrating the beginning of a new journey. Jikankata College of Biomedical Sciences under the auspices of the Salvation Army Church has graduated 91 students who have successfully completed the 3-year diploma training in biomedical sciences.
Today, as Biomedical College, we stand proud to present to you and to everyone else a crop of 91 well-skilled, well-knowledgeable, spiritually upright graduates that we are bringing on to work.
Southern Province Minister Cornelius Mwetwa was guest of honor.
The government of the Republic of Zambia has continued to invest significantly in training and recruitment of health personnel and will continue to do so because this is the obligation the Salvation Army Church has in a non-partisan manner continued to serve as a genuine and true cooperating partner of the government, Republic of Zambia, in the provision of education, health, and spiritual services.
Here, the minister also called on the church to pray for political leaders in the country.
We urge the church to remind us political leaders that we don't lead in a vacuum. We lead God's people in a Christian nation. That as leaders, we must be able to be the role models in espousing the principles and values that our Constitution does profess.
The church is happy to partner with government in this cause.
The government has been the key partner in training our students that are graduating today. And I thank you so much for all the financial support that we've been receiving, the technical support that we've been receiving.
Various stakeholders present called for professional conduct among the graduates.
We want you to be the motivation again as to why people want to come to health facilities.
Please pay particular attention to the orientation as you come for work.
The graduating students have pledged increased research development in the health sector.
One day we will see a Zambian scientist develop a malaria diagnostic kit.
This graduation ceremony was preceded by the dedication and commissioning of newly constructed 1x2 lecture rooms and administration block. In Chimunyana Lumpa, Zanis, in Jikankata, Southern Province.
Still on health matters, midwives from all districts of Northern Province converged in Kasama to celebrate the International Day for Midwives under the theme Together Again, from Evidence to Reality. The midwives commemorated their day with a pledge to help reduce maternal and newborn deaths. Nkweto Mumba reports.
They spare time from the labor ward to celebrate their day. These are midwives from all the districts of Northern Province who gathered in Kasama to celebrate the International Day of Midwives under the theme Together Again, from evidence to reality. According to the World Health Organization, about 300,000 women die every year from pregnancy-related causes, and about 2 million newborns die shortly after birth, while 2.6 million pregnancies end in stillbirths. And this is the situation that government is concerned with.
The investment in the research and the support by the cooperating partners to help us generate necessary evidence for policy formulation, implementation, and M&E will be welcome from other stakeholders.
The Provincial Health Office is calling on midwives to continue being dedicated to duty in saving lives of mothers and newly born babies.
I'm so happy that we have a number of midwives in the province, even if the numbers might not be enough. But at least we have managed to distribute to all the 12 districts in Northern Province. So bravo midwives. And
the midwives pledged to contribute to a reduction in the number of maternal and newborn deaths.
Urge colleagues, the midwives, to seize this opportunity to conduct research and produce evidence that will support our practice. Doing so will help us alleviate high levels of maternal and neonatal morbidity and mortality.
During the same event, deserving midwives were awarded with various prizes. Nkweto Mumba for Zanis in Kasama.
In Lusaka province, government has handed over a mother's shelter and boundary wall fence to Chawama John Howard Bomora Clinic in Lusaka. The shelter has been constructed using the Constituency Development Fund at a cost of over 400,000 kwacha. Winnie Mwelwa witnessed the handover and brought us this report.
A structure handed over to advance delivery of healthcare services to the community. This is a mother's shelter and a wall fence boundary at Bomora Clinic in John Howard of Chawama constituency, constructed under the Constituency Development Fund.
Prioritization is very, very important, and this mother's shelter actually represents what the community have been looking forward to, and in line with the government policy.
My advice to all the constituencies is that you must ensure that you do your best in prioritizing projects. The government, the New Dawn government, has already done its part by providing or increasing the CDF that is coming to our constituencies. Things are in our hands as leaders, as members of the community. Sit down, prioritize nicely, and you'll be able to bring the development that is desired for this area.
I would like to thank the government of the Republic of Zambia through the CTF committee for this project. My office has been working tirelessly to make sure that this project is done.
Women of Chawama are happy with the structure.
Pashelta mine batiletera iti nali kuvutika maningi nthawi ya mvula nali beko nkhala so apatiamikira ku government yathu
nakondwera maningi pali chamine batiletera kuno community yathu ya John Howard tenze kuvutika maningi tezo nkhala pa matika papenze matika.
Bomora Clinic is servicing a population of about 29,000 people, and the addition of such infrastructure at the facility will go a long way in providing quality healthcare services to the community. Winnie Mwelwa, Zanis, Lusaka.
Senior Chief Tafuna of the Lungu people of Mbala and Mpulungu districts has called on married couples to be tolerant towards one another to enhance harmony in their families. The traditional leader says tolerance among couples is key to building strong families and nations. He says most families are disintegrating because of lack of tolerance and love among couples. The traditional leader says sexual and gender-based violence should not have a place in society as it is retrogressive. He was speaking on the sidelines of the Natwampane Sexual and Gender-Based Violence meeting on gender equality and sexual reproductive health rights held in Mbala. He says couples should respect the institution of marriage by adhering to their marital vows if they are to inspire young people. Chief Tafuna further commended Natwampane and World Vision Zambia for their efforts in sensitizing the communities on sexual gender-based violence, gender equality, sexual reproductive health rights, and ending child marriage. On a sad note, 10 people who died in the recent Mukushi traffic accident have been put to rest. The 10 include 8 members of the same family who were traveling from Ndola to Mukushi for a funeral when their vehicle, a Toyota Corolla, collided with an unregistered Toyota RAV4 along the Great North Road around 21:30 hours. The 8 family members have been buried in Ndola, while the other 2, including the driver, have been buried in Kapirimposhi. Here now are the details.
A journey to mourn their relative turned tragic as 8 members of the same family from Ndola and 2 others, including the driver of the motor vehicle, lost their lives in a road traffic accident in Mukushi district last week. Today, it was a somber mood as the bodies of the victims arrived for burial at Ndola's Kawama Cemetery and Kambono Cemetery in Kapirimposhi districts. Mukushi District Commissioner Jonathan Kapungwe, who escorted the bodies for burial in the respective districts, delivered a message of condolences on behalf of President Hakainde Hichilema to the bereaved families.
Tuletotela for the quick action yabakateka n'obuteeko okutira bali suminat sendeni responsibility nga government bantu abafa pamukumo bafula munganda imo, and we declare it a disaster. So bwangu through the office of the DMMU twalishite mboko shonse 10 nga government
ndefwa kutotela kuli wa provincial DMMU wa ku central province awaba wombera pakala mbangashi na bena Lusaka after bapwishanga fintu wachilanda ero nomba bachita handover kuli wa district commissioner ne bumba lyabo bachita manage ukuleta ifitumbi ukufuma ku central province kumukushi ukuleta kuno ku Ndola.
Family members thanked government for providing coffins and funeral logistics to mourn their relatives in dignity.
Twapokelera amachushi twali abakusaka mano kuba chushi twala chitashani twala kwanisha makofini no kushika no kuchita fyonse postmortem
palu yesu fefweke chichisendonga tatwa chichikwanisha twatotera na kubuteko pali yonse provide yo bachitire amakofini kukwanisha fyonse nabali kundola baledira kufya kulya pali chituli abakutotera sana pe mwanjini.
In a sermon, the clergy encouraged mourners to find comfort in the Lord.
Nomba muli bantu ba musango shani mwebatilirwe ukwiruka ichaisa palilero muneni mibiri yabamunine fwe yalala pa bushuku bwa lero ninshi kushampela isho imwe na ine fwebeshi betufilirwa kwishiba mu busesemo balandati munshi kushampela kukabe misowe ya muyayaya.
The Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit provided coffins and funeral logistics. For Zanis News, Carlos Munda, Ndola.
We can only pray that the bereaved family will find strength in this trying period. That is where we end our news, but before we go, another look at the top stories in our news. President Hakainde Hichilema is in UK for the coronation of King Charles III. 72,000 kwacha is required for the rehabilitation of the MV Kapale water bus. Government to invest in training and recruitment of health personnel. And Mukushi road traffic accident victims have been put to rest. That is what we had packaged for you on behalf of the entire news production crew. My name is Henry Himonde. Remember to join us tomorrow again at the same time for another edition. For now, it's goodbye.